Welcome to Let's Be Telepathy, you beautiful people, on this early Sunday morning. For some of you, it's a little bit later. We got a lot to talk about today. Lots of people on here, and I'm just feeling the energy. We're going to try to tap into as many people as we can. We got people from Nordic Sweden today. That's awesome. Yay. We made this a little bit earlier today to try to get people from across the world as we are hitting a lot of different time zones right now. So just wanted to open that up, but we are going to get right in. And Lisa, you are our first person up. So if you're there, Lisa, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
I see there's two Lisas. Do
There's
you
two
mean,
Lisas. Yep, other Lisa,
oh,
with Leland. Are you there, Lisa? She might be doing something else. Okay. And that
I'm here.
there she is. All right. Hi,
Yes, I
Lisa.
was doing something else, as always.
You're always doing five different things.
Yes. Okay, so the past 6 weeks, it has been no sleep. Um, we'll have a couple of nights of rest, and then for the rest, it's just been up between the wonderful hours of 2 and 4 a.m., which we all know what 2 and 4 a.m. are all about. So I kind of have a gist of what's going on. But when it comes down to it, and I've done everything that I normally do, it's not working. And I feel that he is being, I don't want to say the word agitated, but I want to say the word annoyed, overstimulated, I guess is the right word for it. Um, I just want to see if you have any insight on something else I can do because you know how with our kids you think you found the answer and then it's like nope, we found a different door to go through, so now you have to figure out a new answer. So I'm going to see what you have to say about that today.
All right. Yeah, that's a great question because I've been getting that from a lot of parents that their children have been up. And I know even just last weekend, Elsa wouldn't go to bed. We were up until 4 a.m. with her. And um, there's a lot of other people that are going through that. So let's check in and see what we can find with that. This is an interesting answer. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and channel for Leland. It would just be a lot easier. And he is going to kind of talk for a lot of the other people too. So as he comes in, he says, yes, the energies are really getting to be a lot to handle right now. It's a big burden for us to carry the energy that we have, as many people are trying to access it. Many people are trying to get to it. There is a night crew that is happening right now that they are living people. So this isn't out of the outside of us. He said there are living people that are trying to access us um, between the hours of 11 and 4 a.m. And so it might even be more agitation for people a little bit earlier. But there are people that are holding seances, holding different groups, holding different thoughts within their mind that they are trying to access us. They're trying to access the hill. They're trying to access different points of telepathy. And therefore, it's skewing the system, it's skewing the signals and everything because they don't belong there. They don't have permission to be there. They're trying to intrude into that place. And as they're trying to intrude, it messes with our calm, it messes with our frequencies. And so many people are trying to access us, many people are trying to talk to us, and therefore we are pushed to talk to each other. There's a lot of us that are getting up at that time. Now we are now we are in now we are in a point where we have to wake up and we have to be observant of what is going on because they're getting very close to where we are at. I would like to ask people to please stop trying to access us. If you want to talk to us, we will come to you. We will see you. We will visit you. And just all you need to do is be that open access for us. Don't come to us. There's so many energies that are coming through. And he says lots of sleepiness during the day, even because the people that are trying to access through the day stimulate us. And it's making a lot of us have aggression, have more aggression that we have recently stopped having. And so he's showing like there was a little break of the aggression, but now there's so many different people and so many channels trying to access. He says that there is something else going on, a certain frequency. Well, not a certain, you're showing 8 different frequencies that are being put out. This would be massive. So he's saying massive. So this might be like some government, some news, or just somebody in general who has a lot of access to different computers. But he says there's 8 different frequencies that are kicking in right now that are trying to make humanity sick. And we're also trying to fight that. We're going to see over the next 7 months a decline in a lot of people's health. A lot of different problems are going to occur because the frequencies aren't able to harmonize. So even all of you that are here, you've probably been feeling more nauseated, maybe more dizzy, a little bit loopy, a little bit disoriented, because it is affecting the masses also, but it affects us more because we are so sensitive to everything, which kicks us into overstimulation mood. When we get overstimulated, it's hard to bring us back down into a point. He specifically for him, and this might work for other people too, and you guys can try it. He's showing me a silver colloid. Um, so try that for him and see what that if that works okay. But he's very showing me like the silver water that you can make, and he said that that'll calm him. Again, it might help other people, but he says that will help him. So that's
Oh my
interesting.
goodness. That is
um
interesting. That makes so much sense, Melissa, because ever since the telepathy tapes have come out, I see so many people wanting to access our children, so many people. And whenever you said that, it resonated in my heart space. Like every time I've seen all of this, it just like this big block would come up like, this isn't good. This isn't okay what they're trying to do. They're invading and intruding. And so with you saying I could feel that in a soul level, that so much validation. And that what you're talking about, the water, is that what you're saying, to put something in his water?
yeah, it's silver colloid. um so it's
Silver colloid.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's emitting silver into water. um
Okay.
and you can buy it online, or you can buy the kit. I bought the kit. So the kit was like $40, and then I can make my water anytime that I want. Otherwise, you can buy it, the silver
Okay.
colloid online also.
I want to ask real quick, what can we do as bees to help protect? Can Leland answer that?
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. So a lot of people are trying to access them. We need to hold space for them. And I mean, literally just saying, "Hey, I'm a safe spot for you." Um, I can tell you guys kind of what I do. I don't ever go to access them. I don't ever try to go to the hill. I don't ever try to go anywhere, because going there, and I know in quantum physics, I don't know if you guys have seen that baseball test where they had a baseball and they had this big target, and they were shooting 100% bullseye when no one was in the room. And when someone came in the room and they looked at it, it started to go off the bullseye and it wasn't hitting. And so they proved in quantum mechanics that when you start to look at something or pay attention to somebody, you actually interfere with their frequencies. You interfere with their wave, and their wave breaks, it becomes a particle, and it's distorted. So as many people that are out there trying to go and trying to look, trying to remotely view, trying to get into, all of these telepathic channels, and they don't know how, and they're not accessing it puts everybody off of their bullseye, and it skews them a little, because now they have to make up for all of the different particles and all the different waves. So what we could do is, as people, is literally just hold space for them. And if you're out there and you're listening, it's not about accessing. This isn't about you. Okay. First and foremost, and this might sound rude, but I'm just going to come off and say this. This is not about you guys. This is about a community of people that are trying to speak, trying to say their words, trying to get their energy out, and trying to access it. And access it in a way that they are helping the world, that it is not just for one person, it is for the whole. And if you are going and you're trying to access their places, such as the Hill, you're trying to access places, their school systems that that the teachers are at, and you are trying to go there, you are interfering with them. You're not helping them. It is selfish. It is egotistical. When they are ready, and when you have a loving heart, and when you have a safe place, they will come to you. You don't have to access. You don't have to go looking for them. When you are going to places that are, oh, I'm trying to get to the Hill, first of all, it might not be in your access point. There are many other places other than the Hill. We have different places in the cosmos. We have different places in time. We have different places in water, and you might fit somewhere else. So you might also be hurting yourself if you are trying to just go and take yourself and put it into an equation that the formula was never made for you. We got to stay back. So what we have to do is just hold space. Make sure that you have the headspace, that you're well aware of, hey, anybody that wants to come in today, I am love. I am safe. I am calm. I am here when you're ready to speak. And wait for them to come to you, because they will always come to you. And you think that you have to go somewhere else. Anytime that you think you have to go somewhere else, or you have to access outside your body, you already missed the point of telepathy. And that is why we call it Let's Be Telepathy, because telepathy is a state of being. And it's the state of going so internally into yourself that you find the purest spot of your spirit. And that spirit looks around and sees all the different lights, and then that spirit can connect with it. So that is the best thing that we can do, is to just be calm and be real. A lot of people, with telepathy, they get in their head because they're trying to look out, or they stop telepathy because they think they're going to read all the thoughts. If you're spiritually connecting through telepathy, only the spirit will be heard. It's not like all these dirty secrets are going to come out, of everything that you did. Don't do bad stuff, and you don't have to worry about that. That's another thing. Keep your emotions good, and keep being just a good, kind, loving person. And that is honestly the best thing you can do for them, because if you are responsible for your emotions and your actions, and you're being kind and you're being loving, they're going to want to be with you. That's the people that they want to hang out with. So they're going to come to you, and they're going to access, and just say, hey, I'm open and I'm ready to receive when you are ready to come. And if you're not ready to come, and you guys don't want to do telepathy, again, just sit and be in the now. Whenever I'm with anyone who is having outbreaks, I don't try to say, stop having this or do this. I literally just sit and I cross my legs and I put my arms out and I say, I'm here for you in whatever capacity you need me to be. And I don't try to be anything else, but just be. And that's all you have to do. And the rest will come to you.
Thank you, Melissa, for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot on them. And I'm hearing the interference all over the place. And it's really exciting that we have that telepathy tapes, but it is really scary for these people that are dealing with it too. And I
I
know the
agree
parents.
100%, especially with the parents that are trying to hold space for their children. it becomes very draining. I almost feel like it's taxing on us to where we can't hold space properly for our children because we're constantly being re brought back down constantly. Like every time we turn around and we're in a good space and our children are in a good space, we get our legs wiped out from underneath us by this all these other forces. And like you said, even with the technology and stuff that's going on right now, I've been feeling that 100% too. It's like they're zapping us. That's exactly what it feels like. We're being zapped constantly, um, trying to access. And it's absolutely, I don't try to be aggravated, infuriated by it, but it does. As a mom to this special soul, it's very aggravating. So I applaud you and I say thank you so very much for really getting that out there, because whenever you were saying it, I got chills. And that's, I guess that's something that I've been wanting to say myself with half of the comments that I've been seeing with these people that don't even deserve to be in that space because they're doing it out of ego and not the heart. So applaud you, Melissa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And with that last comment you made too, best place you can do is be in the heart for them too. Just be in that heart and hold that heart space for them. Unconditional love. That's the best thing that we can do. I mean, I've held off. A lot of people are saying, why aren't you giving them energy work? Why aren't you doing this? Because so many other people are. And I will tell you, as an energy worker, it is incredible when you have 5 different people doing energy work and they're all doing it in the way of here and they're not checked in to source. Even if you think you're doing it right, you could be doing it wrong. And if you have 5 different energy workers working from 5 different planetarial system, or one working from a tree and one working from the sun and one working from self, even then you're going to skew the body up and it's not safe. And so I've held back until people have said, I'm ready to receive and I'm actually like in the space with them like we are now. Other than that, I just hold back and say, here's love and here's kindness. I mean, even putting any energy into it, you don't know what they need. You don't know what they're doing. And it's getting overwhelming for them, just so you guys know. So just hold space and say, I'm here and I'm gonna be here. And when they're ready, they'll access you. Trust you me, they will. Ada, you had your hand up.
Yeah, so I had a question about what you were saying. So I have done a past life regression hypnosis before, and the hypnotist that like the way she does it is like she would ask me who I would like.
Ada, I think your mute went on.
I'm so sorry, I was unmuted. Hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. But okay. Okay. So I was saying, I had a question about your statement. So I tend to do a past life regression hypnosis. And last time I did it was a few months ago. And how she does it is she would have me choose who I would want to guide me in this journey. And because my question was related to my 2 sons, my earthside son who's autistic and my son spirit, I chose them both. And then when you said, made me think, does that mean I'm invading his space by asking him to guide me? And just a side note, I got so many answers that made me just give me so much peace. But it was interesting towards the end, like about the session lasted about an hour. And it was funny because after he gave me so much wisdom, he said, now I am going to go because I'm so tired and I'm going to eat my French fries that my grandmother is making me. And I'll see you at home. and because I was not holding the session at home. I needed, a quiet space. And then when I finished my session, I called my mom and I said, is he okay? Is he doing okay? It's like, oh, he just finished his French fries. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know if that is invading his space or, what you were saying. Does that count as that?
Nope. Because you use the words, you guide me.
Okay.
So you took ego out and you left it completely up to him, which is exactly my point. We have to take ourselves out of the equation and you say, guide me and show me, and you let them lead.
Okay.
You did it exactly right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tara. Or Tara, is it Tara?
Tara is good either way. But
Okay. Gosh darn it.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I thought I hit that. So my son's name is Owen and I'm Tara, and I've been on your call a couple of times, but I've never asked a question. So I was like trying to feel into it. Today's kind of an important day for Owen. He's gonna see a new spelling practitioner. So I want to keep it light. I have so many questions, but I just want to ask about music, and if you can, he's very musical. He's very like he has perfect pitch. He knows how to do things with music when he can get in it. He has a beautiful voice, like, and he doesn't usually uh you know we don't have conversational level speech. He's a minimal speaker. He does have he's able to make himself understood. But yeah, he definitely prefers now the letterboard, and he answers many more questions on the letterboard. So, my question about music is that, like, I feel like a very strong guidance towards helping him learn music. I am a musician. I've always been a drummer. I'm starting to learn notes and ukulele and trying to get into the notes. Could you possibly ask him about what direction I should take that, if I should whatever comes, because I just want to let him guide me towards teaching him about music.
No, absolutely. He loves that. And I would I don't know what they're called. He's showing me that the easiest way for him would be one of those little switchboard buttons. I don't know what they're, if anyone is here and you guys know what they're called, but it's you can pre-record different sounds on it, and it has all these little different buttons, and you can hit the buttons. All DJs have this. I should know. Big Mac. But it might be that, but I know it's a little it has a bunch of different like a switchboard kind of almost thing. Oh, there we go. Big Mac switch.
Switch. Okay.
That's what it is. So check into that, because that would be something that you can pre-record, and then he would be able to play and listen to. Music is really actually big within autism, Down syndrome, even like bipolar, schizophrenia, that kind of thing. Even with me, I mean, I'm maybe normal, I don't know. But music is whenever I have music or whenever they play music, it overrides all the different systems, and it allows you to be within your own frequency, your own statement, your own being. And it's very important for them. Great utilization of tools, just because you can flip through frequencies so easily through music. You can also flow, and it really helps their spirit get in alignment. When I'm watching people listen to the music that is right for their body, an interesting thing happens where the energy kind of expands when they connect, and then they bring it, and there's a certain alignment with this bright energy that happens in the big, and like right as the music is hitting them deep, it's almost like all of their energy comes in, their aura gets to maybe about an inch above their self, because they're so in their self. And then there's a moment when they open up, and you can just watch bursting. I mean, it's bursting, it's little sparkles and everything and auras. And so it's so beautiful to watch somebody with music. But he's saying for him that he would love to DJ. And he says, I know I can, he says, I know I can DJ. I can play the sounds like nobody has ever heard before. I would make he says, I would make out of this world sounds that came from an alien spaceship, and they would be taken away in astral projection through my music. So he wants to give people a journey, it sounds like, through music. He doesn't want them to just listen. He wants to make something that is going to allow them outside. Tuning forks too. That's, he's showing me tuning forks. He would love playing with those. So tuning forks and that Big Mac switch is what I'm seeing right now. Is, yes, I can press. I mean, like, he actually might grow in to be a DJ, to be honest.
That makes a lot of sense. I've actually given him an iPad with a program, and as from a very young age, and I don't usually even give him a lot of technology, but that specifically, he was like hooked on doing these kind of that oscillations within it, and so that makes a lot of sense. And I don't know what this device is, but I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Yeah, look into it. Yeah, I mean, he could be full blown DJ, because he's like, I want to be in front of the crowds. I'm gonna do something that they haven't even done before. And he said, I'm not gonna take the body on an experience. I'm gonna take the spirit on an experience. That would be,
That makes sense. He's a little show guy sometimes. Yes. Cool. Thank you so much.
yeah, love it. Okay, Shannon, we are moving over to you.
Thank you, Melissa. So I had two questions. Well, I have a million, but I'll narrow it down to two. One is, as I become a spelling support person, just any specific feedback that comes through for me to be the most effective. I'm listening to all the general ideas, whatnot. But if there's anything specific to my being or presentation or way of being that could be helpful in being most effective and supportive, what you shared earlier really resonated with like wanting to be a protector and an avenue for speaking without interfering. It is, not getting the ego involved. I think that's a fear that I have, is that this is an exciting new experience, and I want to make sure that it's pure and that I'm presenting, my energy as pure and generous as possible, and not self-serving. And sometimes that's a hard, humbling thing to recognize, that like, oh, is this for all the right reasons? And I want it to be. And then unrelated, second question was about my son, who was just hanging out with me, and he's a speaking child, and has a lot of night experiences that are really terrifying for him, and frequently will ask me if Mama, was that real? And I'm trying to navigate understanding that he might be experiencing things that I can't see, I don't understand, and I want to validate what he's experiencing and also comfort him. And sometimes I don't know how to, I don't know what he's experiencing, but more and more I feel like he's traveling, he's seeing real things, and they're all terrifying to him. He's really, really scared and very connected and very scared of leaving my side. And some of it, I wonder, is it past life stuff? Is it stuff that he's encountering at night? And there's so much energy. I'm a sensitive person. He is too, and definitely feeling that, all of what you were describing earlier. So just if there's anything that comes through that can be helpful for him on his journey too. I'm so grateful, Melissa, for your generosity. And if all that's too much, like, just the first question's fine.
Unmute, Melissa. We can't hear you.
Okay. So I'm gonna hit on the first one. Some cases make me really emotional, so don't be fearful, because the emotions coming differently through me. He is downright fearful of what is happening. I mean, when you said it, it was just so scary and so much. It was like a little ant next to a giant just wanting to step on him, and he's just running from it. um I would love to say that it's not real, but it really is. And you know that. And maybe that's why I'm feeling emotional, because that was what you didn't want to hear. Um, I don't like the word protection, me personally. And this is why. Because the moment that I say protection, there's a little light that comes up on me. And then everyone can see, like, oh, she needs some protection. And so what happens is entities start coming by wondering why you need protection or what's going on. So sometimes the word protection or I need protection actually brings on more entities. And so I always tell people, if you are with the divine and you just put your heart with the divine, that's protection enough. Because when you're in divine energy, the divine will protect you. And that is the only protection that you need. That being said, he needs protection. Um, what he's going through is so scary, and it is so real. As a mom, you can say, you are here, you are in the now, you are with me, and then start asking him everything in the room. What do you see in the room? What are you feeling? What does mommy's hand feel like? And start making this world more present during the waking stages. I would honestly take a prayer, take like a prayer rug, a prayer pashmina, anything that has written prayer on it. Or I have prayer pashminas. That's what I do a lot. So I take my pashminas and I hold them in prayer, and I hold them so tight in prayer. And then I wrap my friends around them when they need that prayer or when they're sick. Um, it could be something that you can do, but he needs divine energies that are going to be there in the mode of talismans. And you can pick a different talisman. If you don't want it to be a prayer, you can look up talismans. You can look at the protection talisman, but you need something physical to be there. This needs physical protection. If you can get holy water, put that, douse it on the bed. You can do, I'm just seeing prayer, 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 prayer. That's all I'm hearing. I can't hear anything else. I mean, I've done, like, let's do different noises. Let's do plasma. Let's do this. He is a warrior, and he chooses to be a warrior. He comes here for breaks. That we need to protect him as much as we can. So say the prayers at night. What Get a hold of me, Melissa Jolly Graves, on Facebook, or whatnot. Because I want to put him in my prayers tonight, and I want to see if he can. I'll ask him, if you feel safe, can you bring me so I can actually see what's going on? But this is something that does need protection, and that does need whatever. Now he is doing okay there. He's fighting it. He's doing good. He's being a good warrior, but what is there is terrifying. And so to have any kind of physical thing here that's going to keep the body safe, because my concern and his concern is that sometimes they get him during the middle of the day. And he says I experience them for about 30 seconds to maybe 5 minutes tops, and then they go away. So we need to identify this. And then when those episodes are happening and you're seeing it, you're not here, grab that blanket, grab that prayer, grab that holy water, whatever it is. I can make holy water. I can send it to you, because this is scary. Um, and, and so then you can put that on during the day also. So that, yeah, you need a talisman of some kind or something. I would, nothing. I mean, I would say EMF to, stuff for these frequencies that are happening. That, I mean, it's like across the board. No, prayers only, prayers, divinity, and talismans. And I'm sorry to deliver that news. I just say it like it is always, and I know it's scary. So like I said, give me a call so I can get his full name and I can write it in a different way that we can, or find a spirit name. And if we can find his spirit name, we can call him that before he goes to sleep so that it's not attached to that human life. And we'll figure it out as much as we can figure it out. And I apologize for you.
Melissa, I really appreciate it. It's very affirming. It's as scary as it is and terrifying. I've had this instinct since he was tiny, and I feel like it's been out of my realm to protect him from. And so it is scary, and it's also like it makes sense.
Shannon, can you share his name so we could all pray for him and keep him in light?
Yeah, Grayson River.
Okay.
His middle name's River, Grayson River. Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Melissa.
Yeah. So everyone, please, 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 and thank you for asking that.
Is there, can I just ask one more question about it? Is there, like, if I figure out, I have not, like, since I was a child, I've not been able to, like, leave my body at night. But if I was to figure that out, like, is it something that, like, I can travel with him to look after him? Like, is there any kind of, like, yeah, it's
No.
pretty, okay.
No, it's not safe for you. There. Just because of the mass quantities of the entities that are there would hurt your body, and that's why he's kept you away. But you do astral project. He says you actually do go out of bodies and you have lucid dreaming. You just don't always remember it. I would not try to go there. Now you could say something as come to me at night. You can say come visit me and come in my dreams because your dreams are safe.
Okay. Yeah, he sleeps right next to me, and he needs me to be there at night. He frequently wakes up and needs physical contact to make sure that he's still okay.
There is a such thing as dream linking. And it has to be done before you go to bed. And it is I can just tell you how I do it and how my husband does it because we were kind of poor back in the we we didn't have a lot of money, so we would go on vacations in our dreams. And what we would do is just hang on to hands and fall asleep looking at each other in our eyes. And then we would say, where do we want to go today? We're going to Hawaii, or we're going here. And we would come up with places and then got very specific on where do we want to go, in Hawaii. And then finding that longitude and latitude and meeting up with that and thinking about that. And our dreams would link up and we would have the same dreams and we would get to go on vacations in our dreams. But that's something that you could maybe do is dream link up and just say, let's visit here, but come up with a map beforehand. I mean, you could even visit Saturn if you want, but pick the place that you want to visit and then think about that and you can go there. I know Pat has something to say about this too. Go ahead, Pat.
Oh, it's still muted, Pat.
I keep trying to hit the lower hand and sorry guys, it's hitting the mute
Okay.
instead.
I messaged Melissa this morning because I'm a sort of bridge. I'm in the middle of normal and autist, telepathic, and not. And yes, Melissa, you were right. This is the place where I'm supposed to be. I wanted to share the fact that I'm able to receive so much. I know that I'm able to emit as much. And this is one of the reasons why I hide when I have trouble. It doesn't mean that, I don't think it means that I'm sending it outside. I think it means that I'm afraid nobody is able to understand or just say, it's okay, you're stronger than you think. Because in the minute, I feel like I'm just this big. And if I have someone close to me saying, I trust you, I know what you feel is difficult, but I know that you're stronger, then it's enough for me. I certainly don't want to bring anybody with me where I'm feeling those things, but I know that it's true. I'm in a period since yesterday where I'm feeling that the low vibes are coming through me so that I can transmute them. And it's a bit too much for me, especially when I meet people I know, and it has something with affection, meaning that I'm very sad for people that I feel, even if they don't verbalize the problem they have. But the thing that I need, and the reason I'm happy for myself to be here, is trust and confidence. Otherwise, nobody can do anything for me. This is my job. I have to transmute what passes through me. There is nobody who's able to do it for me. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Pat. And I love that you say that. Be responsible for your own self. Be accountable for your own frequencies. Your energy is not just yours. It's everyone's. It's a shared community energy. I can't say it enough. You guys will hear me say it so many times till I die. Independence and separation is an illusion. It doesn't count. And one of the best ways that you can be here for this community is to just be aware that maybe at any point in time somebody's thinking or hearing your thoughts, somebody's feeling what you're feeling, somebody's going through whatever you're going through because you're going through it. And they're such empaths and they're such sensitives, and they got these different abilities that you are very much their energy. And so when people ask, how can I help? Be responsible for you, be truthful to you, go through your own emotions. And if you do the work yourself, you're doing the work for them. Shannon, where did she go? You're still there. Okay. This is a really strange I'm just, I always say it like I want to go back to, because you said you want to know the advice. This is weird advice. I'm giving it to you because they say to give it to you. You get in your head a lot and they want you out of your head. Think of the color pink. I don't know why, but they just said, think of pink because pink is soft. It doesn't take much thought for you. You can put it in your head and it's calming for all of you. So think of the color pink, and that's their only advice that they give you. Otherwise, you've had the rest. Lena, come on and join us in the conversation here. You got
Hello.
your hand up.
Yes, hello, beautiful. I cannot tell you how much love I feel here in this space. It's so beautiful. Ooh, the vibes. Wow. Well, Lucy, my daughter on the spectrum, also is non-verbal or beyond verbal telepathy. She transformed my life. And oh, I mute.
It was me again. These buttons are so close. I'm trying, guys. My mouse isn't working, so I have to do my touch screen. Sorry. Okay, go on.
Yeah. It's just, she has transformed my life completely. I was in, I don't want to, we have limited space, so I was focused. But I want to say, we now live in unity consciousness. Thanks to her, I healed my past. I also, like you, I'm being like you, Melissa, or, well, that since I was born, I had a lot of experiences, spiritual experiences, and seeing light, seeing energy. And also I had a near-death experience when I was 3 years old and I fall into into a pool. I was rescued by my dad, but since then, I feel my divine connections were stronger. And I deal with grief of my brother and my sister. And we were 5 and now 3. Well, a lot going on in my life, but I want to focus on my daughter and in these precious children. But thanks to all the challenges, thanks to Lucy that she didn't speak, it awakened. Well, she regressed, her speech regressed after the vaccines, we know. So I awakened that telepathy. I remember the telepathy because I used it since I was a child. But nobody believed me, so I cannot shut down. But then I remember all that, and I started connected with her telepathically and integrating all of my, I would say, my soul aspects, my multidimensional aspects. And so everything started to be more divine aligned, more magical, more manifestations in our life. So now she's going to school, well, since a few years ago, for spellers. And she is spelling beautiful poems and essays. I've been her communication partner on the boards and on telepathy. And she said, Mom, it has been such a beautiful journey. Your heart, you open your heart. You crack open your heart to me. And that made this environment peaceful, easier for her. I'm also channel divine light. I connect with God source, with God creator, and bring light. I kind of use the word protection. We use this. It's pink, a heart. I would say to to channel. Imagine that your beautiful child is covered in this. Is inside this heart that Lucy transmitted. This crystal diamond heart is a diamond in the middle, and it's called color rose or rose quartz, and has the energy of pure love, pure divine love. So I would just suggest bring that, not even suggestion, but that I would like to offer that to you, to imagine your son there and you yourself too, and bring this pure, loving, divine energy that comes from Lucy and all the awesomeness and incredible children collective, because they are in the core, they are that pure love, pure light. I've talked with other children that they say, I feel confused with the thoughts of others, right? They feel entanglement with the consciousness of others. So mothers needs to be very positive in their hearts, in their loving hearts. And I'm a mom. I know at the beginning I was so doubt myself, low self-esteem. But then I embodied the power of the Divine Mother, that we are, our children come through us. They were in our uterus because we are also that divine love. I want you to gather that power. And my child, when Lucy one day was crying and she was hitting her head and crying for a few minutes, I said, what's going on? Well, I tried to calm her, but I felt that dark energy coming to bother her. So I stand myself, and I imagine I have a staff with a crystal, etheric. I say, for the power of my divine self, for the power of Machu Picchu, I'm from Peru, by the way, from the power of Pachamama, the mother, from the power of God, you shall live. like Gandalf, you shall not pass, right? Yes, use your power. And my child just calm down. She calmed down. Or use the elements, use water. Bring a shower, right? A shower for clearing that energy. I invite you to, oh my God, I feel so much. I invite you to just before the night coming, just put you inside this crystal diamond heart, bring all the pure love, divine love, call God, call angels, call all, gather all the light beings around you and your children, and you will see the difference. And you yourself, with the power of your divine self or your higher self, yeah, nobody can touch my child. Just love and light vibrations can penetrate his aura. Okay? I'm sorry, I got so emotional and passionate. That's what I do. Yeah.
You keep talking. I'm loving
Okay.
everything you're saying. Goodness gracious. I absolutely love it. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I watched you step right into your power there. You're kind of uncomfortable. Then you're like, okay, whoop.
Yes. Yeah.
Great advice. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh, thank you, darlings. Oh, thank you so much. You know, we have this group, Light of Autism, if you want to connect with us too. And we have a process called Light of Autism Immersion. Is if you allow me to share about it. But yeah, I will be happy. We are working on moms. We are starting next Thursday. We will have this. It's a cycle of 12 weeks with us. I help you to embody your power, to clear anything that is in the way, to empower you, and to be in your heart, to achieve that brain heart coherence. You will have, it's just beautiful. It has been channeled by Lucy. Well, by Lucy and all the collective of these awesome and incredible kids. I did mentorship with Susie Miller too, and the awesomeism certification practitioner. And so yeah, I'm really committed to this collective, and I love you so much. Mothers, empaths are welcome. Even people that are not mothers or parents, but on the spectrum also have come and feel lighter and empowered. And the telepathic connections just happen during this process. So it's our contribution to this collective. Lucy and I, she pushed me, like encouraged me, Mom, get out of your closet, Mom, get out, right, to support, to reach a hand to all of you. I say it humbly, because I'm the same as you. In the core, we are the same. We are the light, the beautiful lights. I see you in all of you. And well, Lucy, send you so much love, Melissa, for what you're doing. Lucy say, Lucy, I not usually woke up so early on Sunday, but Mommy, wake up. You have to be there. And that's right. We are here. We love you. Melissa, we love everyone. What else can I say? Oh, yeah, Melissa. Look, I have a drums from the Incas.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming from Machu Picchu, I have my Inca bust.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Thank you for
yeah.
sharing, and that was absolutely beautiful. And it was Light of Autism. Is that on Facebook or?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So anyone that
Uh,
wants to join there, go
yes.
ahead and get on that channel too. I'm gonna hop over to Melissa. Now, Melissa, I'm going to lower your hand it might mute you, and then you might have to mute yourself. So I'm not gonna. So we're coming over to you, and I'm gonna try to do this right. There we go. Okay, Melissa, it's on you.
Hi, thank you. I have a couple questions. So I've been involved with some of the people in the groups here and a few others, talking. I'm an animal communicator, and so I've talked with Lori and Jaden, and we kind of had a question in between the situation. And so I thought I'd ask you because I know you can channel, and I know I'm being guided to do this also. And so Nala, their dog, um, was our bridge to me. So Lori was asking me about Nala before she was passing. I'd say maybe close to 2 months now. And it was just it was that time, and Nala was not letting it go. And so I got into Nala, talking to her, found out about Jaden, and now I know in my heart, which I want to confirm with you, but I know just how I talk to animals, that I have been talking with Jaden. And so I have also started doing some quantum biofeedback with Jaden for a couple weeks in a row to help with all the noise and the calming, because I also do that. And I also am being told, and I've talked to a few others, I know they're animals, so I'm kind of communicating with their animals and telling them that their children are communicating with their animals. So somehow I know I'm that bridge in between with the animal and the nonverbals, because I know they all are one big collective. And so Lori and me were kind of chatting, and so I was like, I want to ask you if you can, is Jaden getting my messages, or are we really chatting, and he thinks about the biofeedback, and is it helping him? And in my own self, am I really tuning into these kids? Because I feel it's not just him. I feel I'm not specifically looking to go anywhere, like to a hill or anything. I'm kind of like, I'm here. I want to receive. And then listening to Shannon's stuff, I've had those nightmares too, and woke up running out of my camper, running out of my bedroom, or like, who the F is chasing me? And so, I became a shaman 3 years ago, doing shaman training. When I went through all of that, all those past lives, I saw all of that stuff. And animals were always attuned in nature and all of that stuff. And I've always asked, like, if it was somebody, like an entity after me or somebody after me, because I always felt that like I had something in me that somebody has been chasing too. And so, I've been confirmed no, but I've also been told yes, different. And now that I've been in these groups, I understand so much more of like, well, yeah, we're so connected in every way, shape, or form, pretty much. And I see how the dark is always trying to get to the light of those of the people that, for not the best reasons. And so I was just out of my pure heart, like wanting to know, like between Jaden and Nala and Lori and me, there's some weird connection. I can't deny it. There's something so special in this connection that, and Nala passed away this week. And so, I know Jaden was feeling that. I could feel it the day of, in all of the above. And so, I just wanted your take, and Lori, we both kind of want to know what you feel or see or sense, or I just want to know that too, if I'm crazy or what's going on. So I just kind of wanted to ask your thoughts on all of that. If I'm in the right direction and I really am chatting with some of these children.
I got yes, just right off the board. Yes. You are in the communication, 100%. What you're feeling and going through is valid. The connection is real. There is another cosmic connection. There is a place that you guys are living at, like currently coexisting in another place. So he's even taken it farther to say that you guys asked to project together and you guys visit other places together, and that has been a thing. As far as the quantum biofeedback, that was also a yes, helping a lot. Um, he's very interested in it. So just very, it's funny, just very interested. He's really loving the like logistics and all of the sciencey side. And talking about the science, wants you to bring in more science, talk more about science, bring in a science book. He was pointing to a book on my shelf, but I don't know which one. Maybe I'll figure it out later. I'll ask later and see what book you have to get. It should be, it's a science book. I don't know. He said he wants a science book. It's called the science book, I think. I just see it in my head, the science book. So that's probably what it is. So check that up. As far as channeling, you are channeling animals. You also channel those who have passed. So I see you that you do have ghost energy. You get a little scared about those though, because they come, I'm seeing them come in your peripherals, and then you get freaked out and they go away. But those who have passed that are coming to you are on the ancestral side. You connect with trees also is a big thing. He would love to connect more with the trees with you. There's something that you guys have within that communication that is very, very special there. And then when it comes to the dream state that you have been doing, I'm seeing your veins run black. When I see black veins, this is curse. So this tells me anytime that you get close to any big enlightenment, any time that you are very close to getting over to the other side, there's an entity, well, three entities actually, that are being led by a woman. So a woman had cursed. This was 5 families paternal side. So this would be great, or this would be like great, 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 great grandfather's side.
Okay, because I was adopted, so that's very helpful to know too, because I
Yeah.
don't know my parents. So father's birth father's side, 5 down.
Yep. They had a big curse, and it seemed like with this curse, anytime that anything spiritually is happening, anytime that love is really at its highest, or anytime life is going too good, it's almost like nope. And she curses at you and she sends these things out.
I
This
feel that.
for you, because I always ask, what does work. You're being asked to make wild rice 3 days in a row. Now, wild rice, when you're making that, tap into that shamanic side of you, because it is very sacred. I never make rice unless it is going to be sacred and it's a spiritual thing that I need, especially wild rice. Just because of the energy that's made in it. I've helped process it. It's a huge process. I mean, it's ancestral stuff, but it's powerful when you use it. So you want to take it, put it in a bowl, pray on it, wash it, let it sit for a while, and then dump it. And then do the same process 4 times over before you actually make it. So you're praying and washing 4 times, and then intuitively ask what needs to be in there. Sometimes it's the most crazy things. I've thrown sticks of butters and packages of cherries and raisins and different things in it. Whatever you're feeling called to do, put that in there. But every time that you do the wash, and now 3 days in a row, they're saying, because you have ancestrals, you have a big ancestry on the American Indian side. And now I don't know if this is this actual lineage in this blood, or that they're just claiming this as a spiritual thing. But I'm seeing the American Indians step up and say this curse needs to be brought down, taken down from us. So there's somewhere there was some American Indian within that paternal side. So these ancestors want to come up. So 3 days in a row, each time you do 4 washes a day and eat that rice for 3 days, and ask that your body be cleansed and that the ancestors receive the love and the care that they need, and that it washes away any presence of sorry, I'm actually getting a name. Sorry guys, I'm trying to very specifically get this name. I'm going to write it down in the chat because I don't know exactly how to say it, but I can tell you how they like Shodra is how I'm hearing it. Shodra.
Like a cauldron, almost like a cauldron.
Right? It's shoulder, but it's not dura, it's dura. Like dura.
That curl of the tongue.
Yeah, yep. Shoulder is the name, and that's who did the curse on you. And so say, you know, even give love. Shoulder, I'm sorry for what my family put you through, and you can be fed too. And then take a little spiritual plate and put it to the side so that she can eat it, so then she won't have so much anger towards your family, and she'll feel more loved and included, because there was something like, you're not included, you can't be here. And so fine, if I'm not here, then nobody's going to receive that, nobody would ever. And it was such a big hateful thought that happened for so long that it brought into existence. So yeah, say this name and then offer the plate and say, you know, I'm sorry for what the family had put you through, and I'm here to make things right. Because we don't want to do it in hate, you know, even when we're trying to get curses off, a lot of times that why we have curses is misunderstandings.
I feel it. I feel something. I feel I get to that light, and then it's like like you said, it's just like a whoom comes throwing in, and it's just like knocks me right out again. And I'm like, why does this keep stopping me? Because I'm like, I push back, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to get to where I know I'm following it in my own heart, but I'm just like, I feel, yes, there's always a little entity that is just there. And so she's not bothering Jaden though. It's just more in me, correct? Okay.
Yeah, just you. But once you clear that, whoo, what's going to happen after that is going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll go over to Lori, sorry. And then I do want to get over to Ada. I know she had a question that we wanted to talk about too. So there we go. Oh, where'd you go?
I lowered my hand.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I make it easier.
Love it.
Okay, sorry. We're not at home right now, so if the connection is bad, I apologize. But I wanted to piggyback off of what Melissa was just asking. I guess, firstly, in regards to, I think my first question actually isn't related to that. It's related to what you were talking about in the beginning. We've been having some challenges with sleep, sometimes not going to sleep until like 4:30 in the morning because, you know, that's fun. So I just want to make sure it's related to what you were talking about, and if it's not, what we can do to fix that.
So I'm seeing two sides on your story. So yes, it is related to the things that we talked about in the beginning, with so much of that energy and so many people trying to put that energy on this community. But I also hear a flip side, as he's having a lot of fun and meeting friends, and so I'm seeing some laughing and giggling that is also happening. Not just, you know, oh, I'm so overstimulated, but also, wow, I met all these people and I have so many new different people to talk to.
How do you give a kid a curfew?
Yeah, right.
How can we give him a curfew?
You should do that. You should absolutely do that. You know, all of you parents out there, give your children curfews. You're done by midnight, and then we'll start to play at 6 a.m. or whatever. Wouldn't that be awesome if you
I'll let you know how it works.
Would you let me know? That would be very I'd be curious to know exactly what that was. Um, there's also a lack of serotonin. Now this is interesting because you would think it would be melatonin, but a lack of serotonin. So if you can, and if it's okay, check the body complex and everything. HTP5 might be good to give at night. And it's
Yeah.
an over the counter thing that you can get, but I'm seeing the serotonin levels need to be monitored a little bit better too. So HTP5 at night should also help that.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
The second part of my question is we did lose our dog last week, and it relates to Jaden, but also me. Um, she has been successfully communicating with me at times, and I just want to make sure that that's actually like real and I'm not the village crazy lady.
Well, I mean, depends on who you ask, whether they're a village crazy lady or not. And I'm the village crazy lady, and let me tell you, I honor
Oh, but
that title. Like, I love it. Like, that is exactly what I crazy and weird. That's me, and I own that now. It used to offend me,
yeah,
and now I'm like, God, thank God I'm crazy and weird because normal seems boring to me. So, um, yes, you
yeah.
are hearing. And also, I want to add on to that there has been a psychic communication that has happened between you and Jaden that you're dismissing, that you keep hearing, and you're like, no, that's not right. It is right. And so please lean into that and trust that a little bit more too.
Yeah, and he has successfully made connections that I knew were connections. I think the problem I'm having is trusting that. So I've been working on myself because I have lots of baggage, we'll call it. And so that's what I keep telling him, like, buddy, I'm gonna get there. We're working on this baggage. We're gonna get to that point. And like he seems content with that. But we have had several ones that I knew for sure were him, connections. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys a little bit about my life. I was born into addiction. As my dad would tell you, I was an addict by the age of 3. My father was dosing me with different drugs, medications, that kind of thing, definitely getting me high until I was 3. I was very disoriented as a child. I saw many different spiritual things, angels, demon, that kind of thing. Didn't fit in with a lot of people. I was physically abused. My grandmother tried to poison me. There was just a lot of physical abuse across a lot of different things. My sexual experiences started when I was 4 years old. It went on until I was 8. My son was kidnapped for 2 years, and I had to get him back. I've been divorced twice. I was in abusive relationship there too. I stole when I was young. I got in fights sometimes when I was young. It was always when people tried to get in fights with me. I have been in situations where I have misacted. I have said mean things to people. I have done a lot of mean things to people at times, especially when I was younger. I try not to do so anymore. Um, I don't have my taxes done. Last year, my husband and I were not doing well with my cancer. He couldn't he couldn't work with it anymore. It got to a point where I had to leave him. I ended up wanting a divorce at some point in November and asked him for it. We since have done wonderful. We're doing great with this. It's wonderful. Still behind on my taxes. Still got to do that on Monday. Um, why I'm telling you guys all this is I have baggage like you guys don't believe. I've worked through this as much as I can. You can have baggage. You can have as much baggage as the world can give you. and they'll still work through you if you have a good heart. It doesn't matter what you have been through. It doesn't matter what you have done. If you are trying to be and you are a good person with a good heart, you could go through horrible things. I believe you can maybe even do maybe horrible thing. I don't know. I haven't done, like, I stole when I was young from a gas station, you know. I haven't been too bad as a person. Fought back when people fought me. So, but I do know that I have baggage. I do know, you know, last weekend somebody woke me up and I woke up screaming because I know that those rapes aren't out of me. And why I'm telling you guys this is because I need you to know it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you did. Have a good heart and just be there, and they will work through it. You don't have to work through your baggage. You don't have to work through your stuff. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not. And you just have to show up, and you just have to be willing to listen, just as you would anybody else. And that's all you need. And they'll understand the rest, and they'll work through it with you. But you don't have to make yourself perfect. You don't have to be this thing of pureness all of your life to receive them. You just have to show up and be there. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, and I think in my case, it's not lack of being pure, because I definitely strive at that. It's more the stories, the history, the trauma that I feel is holding me back. The things that have happened to me holding me back. Afraid to trust, if that makes sense, because of all of the bad that has happened.
Jaden hasn't done bad to you, so don't be afraid.
True.
Coco,
True.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm eating this all up. I love every bit of it, right? Because I think it's the difference between our higher self and our ego, right? And so our ego, our physical self here is always going to go through things that we're not proud of and things that we do need to work through to a degree, right? Because we don't want other people in our life processing that for us. But to be able to get to your higher self, to know that your spirituality inside of you and your divinity is there, and gravitating towards that will always get you to where you need to be. And so just thank you, Melissa, for all you do. Like, I was tearing up at what Melina was saying. I just could feel the vibration in that triangle and that heart when I envisioned myself there. I started fluttering behind my eyes, like I felt when Noah was able to send one little word to me telepathically. Um, but my heart's with all of you guys. And Melissa, like, I'm a birth mom, and I love that you get to have this glimpse into your life that you don't know, you know, that generational line. And I always love Native American history, and I think Melissa said, like, it's something big's going to happen when you go through that, and it's going to be big and lovely and wonderful, and you're just not going to be able to be stopped.
Thank you for saying
And
that.
of course. Oh my gosh. As a birth mom, like, all the love, right? Like, I wanted my son to have the best start in life, and it was not with me, right? Like, I could have been like Melissa's dad, who, probably not drugging my son. Like, that's wow. I'm so sorry, Melissa. Um, but I mean, I was angry teenager, right? And my son did not deserve that kind of life. And so he had a beautiful life that didn't include me. Um, and I want you to know that, right? From a birth mom's perspective, that, like, what was your adoption was out of love for you and wanting the best for you. And then I'm trying to think, James, I just want to give you a shout out because I keep thinking you have a womb. I don't know what that means, but, like, you're the one of the few men in this world that I know has a womb. Like, your love for Aiden is as equal or better than a mom's. It's like you have the umbilical cord, and I feel that. So, and then who else? I'm gonna keep so many kids in my heart. Shannon, your son, will be with me for sure. I'll keep him in the light. And so I don't know. I'm just eating. I love all you guys so much.
Well, you know we love you. And I also know I got to get a video off to you today too. Seeing you reminds me of that. All right. So Ada, let's bring you on.
Yes, I thought I asked my question earlier. Did did you write it down?
I did write it down. Yep, but if you want to just go ahead, I usually prior to recording, I just get people in row and you kind of got a little mixed out of line, but that's okay because that's what we do, free form here, and I love it. But if you can just tell the people now that we're recording what your questions were. I know it was all about the letterboard and about talking to your son, but go ahead and express that, please.
Yes. So basically it's kind of related to the past life regression session I had because and I think a couple of moms, or at least a mom mentioned here, my son is in the very early acquisition stages of the letterboard. He is open with me via supported typing. And we've been on this journey for like a year. And it got intimidated at some point because I didn't know if what I was getting was really him or if it was me. And I want to represent, to the best of my abilities, his words. And somewhere along, I kind of picked up the energy of my son's spirit. So that's when, things got sticky for me. And again, I got just these beautiful messages and a lot of peace through the past life regression. But I figure, let me hop on in a meeting. Let me, be surrounded by these, beautiful souls here today. A lot of what was said here today, it's being extremely healing and wonderful. And I can definitely relate. So I'm just here to receive wisdom.
All right. So I am hearing that you are telepathically tapping into both of the brothers, for sure. So you are receiving messages. What was the one that passed? What was his name?
Oliver.
Oliver. Do you mind if I channel for him?
Absolutely no. He's accepted. He accepts it.
Okay. Yep. No, I was trying to see what they wanted me to do here, and I had him pull up, so I just wanted his name, so I made sure that was his channel. What a deep love you guys had between each other, first and foremost, I just have to say. Because the first emotion is just this: Mom, I surround you all the time with my love, the warmth and the goosebumps that you get, that you talk about all the time. That's me. You feel me. You feel that electric energy that is around you. And you don't notice that it is me. You just notice that the hands are, the hairs are standing up on you. Next time, just say hi, because I'm more alive in you than I ever was before. And I shower you with kisses. I play with your hair. So you must feel like you have hair lice or something, because always playing with your hair. And I just see you going like itching or doing this kind of thing because he's playing with your hair so much. He has a fascination with rubbing your hair. And so he's just saying, I love playing with your hair, and I love playing with you. When you feel me jumping on the bed, don't be afraid. Laugh and jump with me. So there's you must feel the mattress going up and down or something, because he's showing like jumping on the bed with you. It almost feels like maybe a cat or a dog maybe jumped on and there's nothing there. He wants to validate that that's him, and that he wants to play, and he's still trying to play. The brothers are in very close contact, actually. And even um he says, we're together more on this side than you're together on that side. So they're more intertwined spiritually than you all are physically. And very much so alive, but he wants to validate. You hear him, you see him. It is him jumping on the bed. When you get the goosebumps, it's him. He plays with your hair, so know that that hair playing is all whatever. And he says he's been telepathically coming through, so all the dreams that you've been having of him have been real, and he brings you through in the dream state. So any of those dreams that you've been having is real. He says open up tonight and let's come together again. So I very much see that. Yeah, absolutely, there's communication within you, within his brother. um there's something to do with lizards too. He says I like the lizards, and I don't know what the lizards are, but he's just saying I really like the lizards, and can you bring a lizard? Like he wants a lizard. He says that he works through those spirits. um and if you want to carry him with you, find a little lizard. He says find a lizard toy or a lizard like little thing, and think about me and I'll show up. What is this lizard thing? He is on this.
There is a skink around the house that keeps getting inside, and it's been going on for a couple years now.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. He's working through these dang lizards.
And
So
what was so wonderful was that he actually opened up this avenue for brother to get into this spelling. He one day, in my early stages of grief, I heard just clearly him telling me, my brother is mostly here than he's there. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
yeah,
And it was almost like I always say, like, he paved the way for his brother for me to be on this journey with my son, my autistic son. I don't think I would have been where I am right now if it weren't for his brother Oliver.
yeah, no, they're very much alive and playing on more on that side than this side. But yeah, if you could go get like a lizard statue or something, then he wouldn't have to keep coming through this lizard. And then he would have the embodiment. And I don't know why it's a lizard. I don't know what it is. Just very much just that I can go through on that. Look into spirit animal of the lizards too, because you might find actually a message. He said it's a message for you, to give you. So when you look up spirit animal lizard or whatever, look that up. But it is a message that's for you. What's his brother's name? Oliver and
Lucas with the K.
Lucas. So this is not in a non-sexual way. I just say it like it is when it comes over. But he's pointing to like his genitals and saying he's having a problem. Is he potty trained yet with that? But he's saying I'm having a problem going to the bathroom on time or going to the bathroom at the right time. What's going on with that?
So he is potty trained, and it's very rare that he has an accident ever. And the other day he did have an accident, and he was very mortified with it.
Yeah.
Because he just he has a lot of ticks, motor ticks. And part of his ticks, he kind of like went in a squat, and then it kind of had that urge, and he just looked at me and pulled his pants down, and he had a bowel movement, and he was just very mortified because that never happens. He's been potty trained since he was 4, he's 13.
Yeah, he's very traumatized by this. I don't know what, because I keep saying what's going on, and all I hear is something is wrong. And then I say, what is wrong? I don't know, but something is wrong. So I don't know if you medically want to go get something checked to see if there's something going on with the bowels or the urine. You know, maybe there's a urinary tract infection. I don't know what it is, because he's not, usually they'll say, but I'm just hearing something is wrong, and I can't control myself right now.
Yes. So because he's minimally speaking, he has a lot of dysregulation. He seems to be very in distress because I think, I don't know, like sometimes we follow our intuition and what we see, but we always have that self-doubt, the second thought of, am I right? So I think he feels when he experiences that disconnection, because he had been hitting the back of his brain, and now since we found these spelling methods, he hears a lot the words of dyspraxia, apraxia. A His mouth words have told us that he thinks that he has that disconnection because he was hitting the back of his neck. And I'm trying to explain to him it is not. It is something that happened, and he seems to want to know why. But it is like almost like he said that is something wrong. And we try to be positive, saying obviously there is something, but the good news is that we can work on that, connecting your body and your brain. Your mind and body can connect if we just work on these purposeful movements. But he gets very, very upset because, like you said, he doesn't say it, he can't say it, but he shows it, like there's something wrong and you need to do something because there's something wrong.
Yeah, and usually I get so much more. I'm gonna sit with him today and ask him and just give him that space that if he wants to come through. If you can just write me either through the Let's Be Telepathy at Gmail or Facebook, just Melissa Jolly Graves. Find me through there. I'm gonna see if he'll talk more. But he's not, he's just saying something's wrong, and when I'm asking what, it's just, I don't know, something's wrong. So I want to figure out if he'll say more or point to more, or if we can spiritually check in. Maybe Coco has something for us. Coco, can you lower your hand? That was a great trick. But if I can help you more, I will. I'm not getting anything more right now.
So the first thing came to mind was pelvic floor therapy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not as good as you, Melissa, but like that's the only thing that kind of popped up for me. But I actually had a question of my own, but I don't want to take away if anyone else wants to add to what was just said.
Can you repeat that, Coco? I can't.
Pelvic floor therapy, which would just be to help like the muscles down there if they're a little like loose.
Okay.
Is the only thing that popped into my head.
I thought it was only for pregnant women. I had no idea that anybody could do
It can
the
be for
pelvic.
anyone. It's just when like the bottom floor, like where the anus is for men, it just gets weak. So I don't know if that's it, if it's just a muscular thing. Hopefully, wouldn't that be lovely if it was just muscular, not like GI tract or your UTI or something. But if it is UTI, you want to take that very seriously because that can turn septic quickly. So if you can get them checked out, that'd be a good idea. And then Melissa, I wanted to ask, I very clearly, because Ada said she heard very clearly, and I was like, oh yes, I did too last week. I was picking up my daughter from school and I just closed my eyes, rested my eyes in carpool line, and I heard someone say, you can hear. And I was like, do you know who that was? I don't know. I was like, who are you? Tell me who you are. That's all I heard. It was a woman's voice, and I just heard, you can hear. And I was like, oh.
So, Coco, if you allow me, I wanted to just share something. It's a
Sure.
little bit off topic. So, on this journey, on this grief journey, I actually connected with a mom. She's from Bulgaria, and she had a little girl who passed away similarly to my son Oliver. And we always talk. And it's so beautiful that both of us get messages from each other's children. She gets messages from my Oliver, I get messages from her. And today I was not looking at everybody, like how everybody has their faces, their camera on. And when I was muted, you started to wave like, hello, Ada, unmute yourself. And actually her daughter's name is Coco. That's I sent her that message and told her, like, oh my God, your daughter was just saying hi. Just really beautiful how they're all connected, regardless of where, if they're on Earth.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
So I'm like, is this really your name? Sherry is the name I'm getting. I don't know Sherry who though, but I would put it out there.
Okay.
So it's not going to be I go on to the autism telepathy group and say, is there a Sherry out there? You'll find her.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And the connection's going to grow really, really, really well.
Thank you.
For you.
I love that. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Ask for a Sherry. And she's not young. So this would be like, well, when I'm saying not young, I've seen her age kind of vary. So this would be like from 14 to like 30 something. She acts older, but age is younger. So it would be not a young child. It would be a little maybe older. But 14 to like 30 is the wave. It would probably even be between like 14 and 24 would be closer, but I'm seeing the tail, or that there's still a little coloring on the 30 when I'm seeing it. But yeah, ask for Sherry. Where did Kim go? There's Kim. Kim, I'm feeling your energy today. What can I help you with?
I was really just here to observe. I'm sort of feeling the same way that everybody else, what we all discussed at the beginning with the not sleeping. So yeah, 1 second, buddy. So we pulled my son out of school. It's probably been 7 weeks now, and which coincided with us beginning our spelling journey. And he was doing really well. He seemed like he was really happy. And I said, he doesn't really, he's minimally speaking, and he can't communicate his feelings to me, but I'm going in my gut. And I said, I almost feel like he's grateful for this. But in the past, probably week to 10 days, it's been really, really hard. He's been, really escalated in the behaviors that, I think we talked about this the last time, that he just seems dysregulated, and then sleep's been horrible. So I don't know if it's just what everybody else is going through, if there's something with him in particular.
A little of both. Do you have him on dairy?
Is he what?
You have him on dairy?
I mean, I took him off dairy a long time ago, but no. I mean, yes, he will eat. He eats dairy. He'll eat cheese sticks and stuff.
What I'm seeing is the same thing that I would see if somebody had a dairy inflammation.
Huh.
So that's why I was asking. There's an inflammation that's going on in the body. And then it feels like, so I wonder if his belly's a little distended too, just like up at the top there, because I'm feeling a little so it feels like inflammation within the body, and then distension, but there's like a burning sensation at the top of the stomach. So it seems, yes, it is some of what that is, but it also seems like there was something introduced through diet that is still trying to work its way out. You could try like Benadryl and maybe ibuprofen, and just see if that changes if that changes, then it was some kind of allergy or allergen or something that
Okay.
was ingested. I'm seeing it was something that was actually ingested.
Huh.
But there's an allergy, some allergy to it, and it's causing inflammation throughout the body.
Okay.
So maybe try Benadryl
Okay.
and ibuprofen, because that would help with the inflammation. That would help with the, with allergy, and just see the change in that. And if it doesn't change, just reach out to me and let's try
Okay.
to see let's dive deeper into it.
Are you seeing anything with his ears? I forgot about that. So earlier I was actually he keeps saying wax in ears. And I brought him to the doctor and they said there's no wax in the ears. You seeing anything? He's been taking, I mean, the only way I've been able to soothe him is to, he probably takes 7 baths and showers throughout the day. I don't know if there's water in his ears. Yeah, buddy, 1 hour.
So what is happening is the blood pressure at times is rising. So I'm seeing calm spike,
Mm-hmm.
look like spike in the blood pressure. When that's happening, he can hear the whooshing of the blood through the ears.
Oh, wow.
And so he can actually hear.
Yep.
And that is what's bothering. The noise of the water and everything, and being in the water helps circulate, or calm and keep the body circulated kind of everywhere, versus just getting stuck up in there, and the sounds might even sound the same, so they might override it.
Melissa, is that an external like trauma response thing? Can you ask? Like, is it like I've heard of like sirens before spiking people's blood pressure, like in a hospital situation. So maybe she could be on the lookout for an external stimuli that's causing that.
A lot of times he's just lying in bed and saying, ears hurt, and take the wax out of his ears. So I actually was giving him Motrin the past 2 days just in case I don't know if he was developing an ear infection. He's super sound sensitive, but I'm not seeing a correlation between an actual sound and him complaining of the ears. A lot of times it's just, he's lying in bed saying that.
Put his legs under pillows when he says that and see if that helps, because I'm not seeing an exact outside stimuli. I'm seeing something internal, and it's just getting that circulation. It just goes whoosh and rushes to the head. I don't know if he's having like hot flashes too, if it's just, or he turns red, but I'm just, and I can hear
Huh.
in the ear, which would be maybe annoyance. But I don't see that it's causing specific pain. It makes it so you can't hear. So when you have wax, sometimes, like, when you plug your ears and you're underwater, he's attributing it to that's the wax. Is so, like, if you just plug your ears like this and just start talking, it sounds like there's wax in your ear, but he's getting so much circulation in the ear that he's getting more blood in the ear than normal, and that's what's happening.
Okay.
So it's happening from behind the ear, and it is actual blood that's coming. I would almost want to take his blood pressure, see what his, even check his pulse during those times when he's saying that, because you're going to notice something different in the heart. It could even be like a murmur or something, but it's something with the heart and not the ears.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me know if that works.
Okay. And you said put his legs under
Put
pillows or over pillows?
Put his legs up, because when you're putting his legs up like that, then the circulation is going to have to work a little bit harder to go down. So it pulls the blood flow down from the head, and it works more on the feet. So if you lift the feet up, then the circulation is going to want to go more to the feet.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cindy, how are things going? Because as of last week, something switched on our side. And it was almost like, oh, well, everything's fine now. Is that true? I don't even remember what we were doing. I was at the ocean and he just came through. And then he's like, oh, well, let's clarify everything through the waters now. And I just remember he came right through and went, boop. And then he goes, well, that's it. Now everything's good. So I've been meaning to ask you. I've just been really busy and whatnot and trying to get my body regulated. That's another thing, guys. I'm going through this cancer and doing this. If you think that your body has to be good and purified, it doesn't. I'm sick, guys, and I'm still able to do this. So it just goes to show, your body and your mind, they don't have to be perfect, but your heart has to be, and that's it.
And we love you for it so much. I feel like things are going good here. I don't know what happened. I went through like, not knowing what was going on to really being hyper focused and like praying, a lot of, reconnecting with my spirituality. I went through and I did the presence process and like did a lot of like generational work and just I've been like feeling so positive and so good. And I know that that is paying off. I've been having dreams where I'm actively involved in like curing him, is what I'm going to say. Like I've been working in churches with people, like, and they're just these dreams. It's weird. Like I've had the same 4 dreams for like the past 5 years. And since I've started doing this work, they're gone. And now I'm like physically doing this stuff during my dreams that's helping Jason. I don't see him in the dreams or anything, but I don't know. Like I've just been like, I just kind of gave myself to like this whole spirituality. I've just opened it up. I'm trusting and like some things shifted like 100% for sure. He does still want me to sleep in his room with him at night. And I don't know if that's just because, it's not like he's scared. He's very silly. He's laughing his head off at something. And so I'm hoping that's a good thing. I hope he's connecting with friends or just connecting with me. But yeah, there's just been some sort of a shift. The house feels a lot lighter. Everything feels a lot lighter. But just being very aware of positivity and happiness. And so, there's been a shift that I'm just going with it because I'm loving it. But yeah, I mean, he's been just joyful and it's been really, really great. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm here for it, and I'm glad that he's coming across that way to you. That means everything to me.
Yeah, it was just like this. Okay, we got to do this one last thing. Let's do it, and let's let it go here. And all of a sudden, we're good. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was it. And he was like, yeah, just needed 30 seconds of your time. We had to clear that last thing and we're good. So I'm glad to hear that because, and you've been doing great too. I mean, what work that just shows, and I know a lot of the parents here, I can attest for Lisa, and she can come on and say herself too, has been working. I know, James also, I mean, really putting forth the effort of I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to be somebody more positive and somebody more open to just holding space and not trying to fix things. And I do want to add that because I said that and right away, like 3 of the people in the room said, that was it. Stop trying to fix us. We're not broken. Try to work with us to see how much we can heal. And so that really needs to be said, is that you guys stopped trying to fix them and you started working on you, which fixed them.
Yes. Well, then like Milena said, when she gave that description of like grabbing that staff and slamming it down and being like, I am in, I'm going to take charge of this. I'm going to protect, like, it's so like, yes, that is exactly it. That's exactly whatever the heck happened. I am the Gandalf of this house. And I am like, but that is like such a good description of like how things have been, how I'm feeling. But no, it's been wonderful. And that's just 100% true. Like since I'm taking accountability for all of my shit, like all this, just that it's just made a world of difference. And it's giving him, I think it's freeing up his ability to just not have to worry about all of my, all of my stuff and everything. It's been a huge shift. And so looking for those positives in the bad, like that negative energy that was so terrifying to me when we first had that conversation, had that not happened, we wouldn't be where we are today. So it's like, as scary as things can be, like there is positive in everything, and I am so thankful for that experience, and for you, Melissa. Thank you so much. But thank you for checking on us. That means everything to me and to Jason.
Yeah, you guys are all my family members. This isn't just, I'm here and then I end. Like, we're having conversations. There's still stuff going on with all your kids. I'm getting to know, so much about everyone, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful family community. And so I genuinely care about all of you, and you all are so meaningful to me too. So the feelings are reciprocated for sure. Yeah.
We love you, Melissa. And I also passed through a cancer, the breast cancer. I'm breast cancer survivor. I remember before, yeah. But if my experience can support you, I want to offer support to you in any ways. I humbly offer you support. We can connect. I will be happy. And Lucy, by the way, she say she would like to connect with you here and send a message to me and everyone if you feel so. But she say now she's saying yes. Tell her. And we will send you love every day. You will be in our prayers for sure. Love and light. See you.
Yeah, I can definitely try to
Okay.
connect to her. And then if does anyone have any questions or any comments or anything they want to say after that? Anyways, okay. Yep. Okay, James, I'm going to start with you and then we'll end with her message because we're getting on that 2-hour mark, but I want to hit everybody here. So James, come on in.
Thank you. Sorry to get in here really quick, but I just pulled in at the end again by what you said there, and I just wanted to echo um, literally the words you said is what Aiden told us years ago. And he said, and so I just wanted to share this with everyone, is stop trying to fix me. And for the longest time, it was a puzzle, because sort of coming from that parental, more, I guess, and I use this lightly, that defensive place of, we're just trying to give you your life back. We want you to be active and healthy and regain your health and all of it. And then we kind of learn to back off that, and sort of ironically went into a place of even more acceptance, which is a difficult part of the whole journey in the beginning, it seems like. And then 20 years down the road to confront another place of acceptance was amazing. And now with everything going on that we're learning within these calls and the frequencies and the vibrations and the telepathy and everything, it's just constant accepting of our community and our loved ones. And so once again, that made me perk up even more when about that fixing piece is something to pay attention to. And that's it. And also, thank you, everyone. It's such a privilege to sit in on these calls and just be able to listen to the honesty and just what everyone's willing to share. And I personally get a lot out of this. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So have you found anything that works for you that just helps. I mean, I know you guys are working so hard on yourself. What do you feel is one of the most pertinent things that you could do, or that you have done to help Aiden? He's just pointing to you, being like, get him to talk more, Melissa. You know that this is what our mission is. Dad needs to say more and teach more. So I'm egging you on to say more and teach more about what you just spoke about.
Well, I'll have to say, Aiden, we are up against that 2 hour mark, so I don't want to, because I can definitely share my opinions. But I have to say, it was just from the very beginning of the spelling, and when I started to hear, and I related it to the presence that one has to find in order to be, I think, a beneficial communication partner for these guys. And once I reached that and accepted again the telepathy, and like he also told me, when I said, Aiden, I kind of think I know what you're gonna say. And he said, yeah, Dad, we share the same brain. And this was way before telepathy tapes, and I don't know what's going on. So I think it's that. I think it's just f- accepting and finding that place of presence, and just trying to continually, just like all of our spiritual traditions, it seems like tells us to keep coming back to the present moment. That's where everything is happening. And so we're powerless in the past, and that's where regret is. And I think a lot of parents feel regret for maybe some decisions that we made, but a reminder, we made the best decisions that we could have made at the time with the information that we had. And that's in a place that doesn't exist anymore. And then the future is where fear resides. And we have no control over that. So there's no time, there's no point. Easier said than done, right? But that's what I sh can share, and it's not easy, it's difficult, but it's the challenge. And then the joy that comes out of that is so reinforcing that it's like, why else be anywhere else than right here, right now? Because that's where they are. That's another of the magic of this group of people that we are blessed to be around. They are constantly in the present moment. And at least I think that it seems that way. And I think that's the reinforcement. And so um, they're all teachers, and that's what I hear from everybody sharing. And the more I hear, more of the outspoken people of our community. So yeah, that's all. Just be here. Just be in the present moment. So yeah, thank you. I hope that helps. Yeah.
It's great advice. I love it. And thank you for sharing. Don't worry. I just always say the 2 hour mark, people get antsy kind of around them. We can always go past it too. Frida, you're next.
Well, I just love being here. Thank you. And I shouldn't say anything because I'm going to start crying then. But I wanted to show you something which I thought was a little bit weird, but maybe I'll just have like a quick comment to Shannon first, because I have a son who's 37 years old and he's an undiagnosed Asperger's, I'd say. I mean, that's what he feels as well. And clearly he was very sensitive when he was a kid, when he was in kindergarten, he started there at 4 year old. He didn't enjoy himself. And the first time I ever went to a psychic person, I asked her about that. And she said is like he had these long antennas, so he was picking up everything and all the grown-ups working there. So she was like scanning all the grown-ups. And then she said, well, this and that, but it's okay. And then she said, what was there before? And she said it was like a sacrificial ground. And I was just went, what? Because this was like a Waldorf Steiner school. It's like the best, it's like really a very good kindergarten. And now what am I going to do? And so I have to remove him. She says, well, basically, it's going to follow him around because he's going to pick up energies. So she said, you have to protect him. And I was like, what do you mean protect him? And she said, to envision this, to have an egg around him and fill it with golden light and all that stuff. And the next day, when I took him to the school bus, the bus left, and I did that, and I felt nothing. I saw nothing. It was just in my imagination. So I just filled the whole bus with light, and then I filled the whole kindergarten with light. I filled everything with light because I didn't know, I didn't feel anything. And that was the first day that he enjoyed his kindergarten. And that's how it continued. Whenever I did that, he had a good day in kindergarten. And if I forgot, because after a while you get used to it, he had a bad day in kindergarten. So it was really fascinating for me at that time because I didn't have anyone to talk to. And I thought it was so strange. But I mean, that was just a little tiny thing compared to what your son is going through. But I guess there's something about the connection, like Malena was saying too, the connection between the mother and the child is so strong, you know, and I just love that with the crystal bond, just like put a mark. And I remember seeing a movie one time with autistic kids and their uncle, he was schizophrenic, and this kid, this was fiction, but the kid, he was so afraid of the monster, whatever. And then the uncle, he was the only one who sort of came on his side, and he put a charcoal line on the floor. He said, behind this, you are protected. And then the kid was fine, you know? And yeah, anyway. So what I wanted to ask was that when we were talking about all this, I think it was about no, Marissa or something with the curse. There was a bird that flew into the window here and it died. Can you see it? Oops, can you see it? So I thought that, oh, I mean, birds are messengers, but I just thought I wouldn't have mentioned it. I didn't know if I should mention it, but it was something about the coincidence of the timing of it that I thought was, you know, I just wanted to mention it, and if there's any comments on that, or any if the bird has any message or what's going on.
I mean, that's definitely an omen, huh? Wow, wow. Um, that's pretty powerful. Actually, I do know that birds and insects, when curses are spoken of or when they're recognized, that they actually will fly into windows and
Wow.
die. So that's a big that's interesting. That's interesting. Uh I'm hearing yes, validation, but also that it brought up something that was in you that needed there. So you have something that was entered into the bloodline. Now I'm not going to necessarily say curse because I see you gray. So gray just means um not stopped, but like abilities can be taken away. This has to do with the head, and there's something that comes into your head and it almost swipes your information. So you'll be just thinking about a thought or talking about something, and then all of a sudden it's like swipe, and then what was I talking about or what was I doing? Um, and that's what's happening to you. And so that was just something of, hey, be aware that something else is happening here. Uh, for you, this could be something as simple as a neti pot or doing like normal sailing, but with salt and water specifically and putting it up the nose and clearing the channels. Um,
What a nutty what?
it's
What
called
is that?
a neti pot. You can get them online, but they're like a little tea thing, and you put it up your nose and it goes through all of the channels and then it comes out the other nostril. You can also do it when I don't use the neti pot. I have in the past when I've had sinus infections and stuff done the little ball syringes for babies that you soak out with their nose, and I just fill that with water and then squirt that up my nose and let it run through. But I'm here, I'm seeing very clearly for you, just letting that salt go through will change everything. And there is some mucus buildup that has to do with that too, but you'll get some of that out, and then you should have clearer thoughts and clearer head.
Okay.
I think sinus rinse. I would Google that. because
Okay.
you'll be able to find what she's talking about. And then
No,
James wrote something in the
I have
comments
that.
too.
I have that plastic thingy. I didn't know the English name for it.
I have a
Thank
hard
you.
time keeping up with the comments. So, James, what did you
Oh, I
write?
forgot. He accidentally sent it to me, but he said there was a bird circling around for 10 minutes. That's what he accidentally privately sent it to me.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah, no, I had to add that for 10 minutes. There's been a bird perched on a bush. Just I'm like, what is that? That's why I keep getting up. And I think it's a female goldfinch, possibly. But yeah, I just wanted to relate that. Someone's trying to talk to me. I don't know.
Is it
Or
is it
someone wants in.
is it hitting the window or it's just
Yeah,
in front? Oh
yeah.
wow. Wow.
It's singing, it's whistling, and it's just like fluttering up to the window and then coming back down. So
Wow.
What's so cool about everything coming together is that Melissa Corione is an animal communicator, right? So the fact that it's birds and they're singing their songs and they're sending messages. So I
And
hope you're
when you
picking up on it.
And when you just said that, I was like, holy shit, I have birds hitting our window all the time. We have huge, big windows and even in the back, and all of a sudden they just wham and wham. And there we have two the mourning doves, and they just literally in a pair of unison together got up and went right into it. They're not dropping dead. Now some have because they broke their neck, you know what I mean? But there's something going like when you just said that, and the birds and the communication and other animals, and I'm like, yes, they're all giving me messages too, but there is something with them birds. Yes, they're all giving me messages. We have a woodchuck right now that's living in under our chicken coop, and it's been talking and has messages too. And so like there's something bigger going on here that I like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's so
Look into
cool.
that. But I do know, again, they will come around, and especially because we brought up the curse, they do come around to say, yeah, that's a thing. Um,
That's what they're telling me too then. Like, hey, wake up, lady. This is your curse to get rid of. Okay. Because I asked them, I'm like, sing to me. I'll go outside. And like the bees that day I posted on your Let's Be, the bees were in unison and vibrating in the tree. And I was just like under it, not hoping to get stung, but just like that it was so healing. And then the birds right now, because we just moved 1 year ago and only had a few. And now I have all of them in. And I talk to them and I go outside and I sing with them and I call them to me and I like tell me your messages, but the hitting of the window, because I'm like, it'll scare you right out of
oh
shit. Like
yeah.
all of a sudden just bam, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, don't die, And so, okay, yeah, I'm really into this lineage, like totally, like going to plow through this.
I know it sounds weird. But birds, birds and insects, they are very, 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 very spiritually connected. And a lot of times different, like even if you've passed, you can kind of come through them easy. They're easy access to come through, but when they're slamming themselves like that, that's them giving you warning. And it's pretty much a suicide mission to say, I'm trying to stop. Birds will try to stop curses. They'll try to look after people. And if they're doing that, take that as that's an omen that you need your energy checked if they're running into the different walls and whatnot, because we spoke about it for you and you're on this and you're connected to everyone. They're probably coming through on that aspect. You can also sit with the birds and say, can you help clear this too? So that might be something, if you are that close with them, be working with them and that rice and stuff. And you
I
can
think
even,
there was, go ahead.
I was gonna say you can put some outside for them too.
Okay, I think they're truly. We moved just literally 1 year ago and into a family shit show around us of family issues and had to go to court for this land. And this went way back. So I'm wondering too if I got pulled into a curse from the family lineage down the road because the husband, like in the house I lived in, they didn't talk to the siblings behind them and around them and the mother and knew none of this before I moved in. And we have had one issue after another, literally since it's been 1 year on Thursday. And it's just been a continuation. And I was like, I feel like I call these birds in more coming into this house to help me. And even like the cicadas to bring in their, in last summer, to bring in their healing vibration around it. And I put love all around us. And I build like this huge, and I call in all the animals from the four directions and my animals. And I make this huge space. So like, and then I like take my crystal from Lemuria and I literally beam it around. Like I feel like I'm on a airport, the thing, and I just beam this love all around to like, because I'm like, I didn't want to walk into your mess of shit. I didn't ask for this, but somehow I know I was put in that house for the reason. And I feel there's a portal in that house. And now when we just had a storm, and I wrote that about a lobster, the tree, a huge pine tree just fell right down. And this is literally where I buried tourmaline, citrine, and a whole message put in this for this court issue I was going to with the house. And that is literally where the tree fell, right where I buried that. And so I'm just like, I feel a portal. I went to Mount Shasta last year and I felt like I was told to build something on this land. And I know there's more to it. Like they don't understand it because they're in their fight of hate. But you know what I mean? I'm like, no, there's love, there's a meaning. I'm on this property to do something for this space, or it's going to call in something or bring in something. But my husband has been told that too. And so like I truly know something is there that I speak into it or speak into existence, or something is in that space. But I know I was brought there for a reason, and all of it just coming out to hear all of it really like makes me feel like I'm not nuts always when I know I'm not, but you know, you just like, that's crazy. But yeah.
You took on the ancestry. That's just what I heard. You took on the ancestry. So now you're responsible for all the rest, all of those ancestors. Basically because you're the only one who is capable and responsible. They said you're capable and you take responsibility for others when others won't take responsibility for themselves.
And that's what I truly feel. Like I walked, so I got my lineage now coming, and I got their lineage coming on me, and I'm just like, everybody let me be. Like, let me just be. I like truly you're bee. Like when I see that, like I have let bees all over my house, just like be you, be me. Like let's let, like that's, I say that all the time. Just let somebody let me be. Like I feel like there's always just a snafu with something. Like I get there and it's like, nope, tomorrow this happens, or the next day that happens, or some other wacky shit. You know, this is so crazy. They wouldn't even allow us to get city water on our property. They will not give us an easement. They would not grant us an easement to get water. That's how hateful this family is that I moved into this house. So I'm like, you know, the part of me goes, am I supposed to leave soon? Like, I didn't know if I was a transition there. Like, this was a transition house for a little bit, and then I go to the next thing. But then part of me is like, no, I'm bringing in people here, and I see nonverbals, and I see animals communicating, and I see this like a healing place.
Yep.
Yeah. Really do.
You're meant to stay. You're not meant to leave.
Okay.
Their attitudes will change.
This is interesting.
Just keep that up. But yeah, tomorrow and the next, or whenever you make this rice, make sure it's wild rice. If you can get wild rice, it's going to be better for you. But ask the ancestors to bring that on for you. You know,
just go get wild rice and
get wild rice, yeah, and literally sit with it and say, what do you need me to put in there? I mean, when I do it, I'm foraging. I'm going, you know, taking trips while I'm making rice and going to, you know, a park or something, or my backyard, and I literally start foraging for whatever they're telling me. Sometimes I put birch wood in there. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes I put stones that I find in there. Whatever it is, it's what they need to be fed. And just don't try to make a good recipe. It always turns out really great at the end, you know, and at the end, add whatever spices and whatever you need. But go foraging or go, you know, to the grocery store or whatever and say what is needed for this, and just go by instincts.
Okay.
It sucks sometimes because when you make the best pot of rice that you've ever made on the whole tribal grounds, and the elders are saying, what did you put in that? I'd say, I don't know. Whatever they told me to. You'll never
Oh
get to
gosh.
remember the recipe, but they'll give you a good one.
I'm
Great.
feeling compelled to protect Melissa Jolly Graves' energy with saying goodbye. I don't know if that resonates with you, Melissa, but I don't know. I just got that message of like, let's conserve your energy.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah.
Well, I was fascinated. If I can just have a comment on that, since the bird happened on my window and the curse is hers. I think it's not my curse; it's hers curse, right? Or am I
Right.
cursed too?
Nope, it's her curse. It's
Yes.
her curse. But they were bringing
But,
attention
but
to that you need your mind just a little washed.
yeah.
And that so maybe it had to go through you so that we could get that extra piece.
But what's interesting is that I've had land issues as well in the past, like my ancestral lands, that it was legal dispute and issues, and it tore that part of the family apart. And I wasn't adopted, but I was a daddy's girl, and they divorced when I was 3, and I was really, that was my paradise, that his parents' home, and it's been in the family from the mid 1700s. And I was to inherit that, but I had to fight for it because other people wanted it. So it was like it was a very hard thing. And but I was in the right, so I got it, and I sort of did a house renovation, and I stayed there for a few years. But I got sick from being there. I couldn't do the climate, but it felt like I was healing just being there. Like I came back to complete something. And with the renovation of the house and the love that I have for this place, something healed in me, and maybe I healed the land. I don't know. And I sold it in 2008, and a couple of weeks ago I went back. It's 6 hour drive from here. I went back. It's by the Norwegian fjords, and I went down to the sea. It's on the sea, this farm, and by the boathouse. And I was sitting there, and like I could feel my DNA in the land. Like I felt it. It was so, because I loved it so much, and I loved it going fishing with my grandfather and daddy and my uncle and all that. And I was just, I don't know, but I really like felt my DNA, that this land is in my DNA. So wherever I travel, it's in my DNA. I cannot explain it otherwise. There's something very powerful.
You
So
explained it exactly how you should have. That's right. You're exactly right. Wherever you go, whatever you feel, whatever you experience, it is in the DNA. And your DNA is also shared, with that experience and with whatever you had that space for.
Yeah, I feel my grandfather early comes through when I'm at the other side of the world in the Pacific or whatever. I feel them coming through especially my grandfather. So it's quite, who was a fisherman.
Love it. Love it. Make some fish. Don't do the rice, make some fish. Bring on those ancestors. They'll love it. All right, guys. Lena, if it's okay with you, I would love to get together maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. And then if it's okay, I'll channel Lucy's message. I feel like it almost needs to be its own message for people. That's easy and simple for them rather than just the end of this, because what she has to say and what she has to share energetically is going to be so much more. So I want to just utilize it as a little clip because she is telling me that she is going to help them. She says, I'm going to help my friends sleep and I'm going to help them calm their nervous system. And so she's very excited about that. So I'll make that as a side piece so that, whoever, whenever, parents can just come and pick that up and then just listen to that. And that would just be a standalone message. Is that okay?
Oh, yes. Yes, it will be okay. I feel
Okay.
that feel correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll do that.
perfect.
And
All
then
right.
With that being said, I'm going to end today's meeting. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for hanging in. It's been 2.5 hours, so all good content though, all awesome content. And look at Anita showing herself on film today. I love it. I love it. Pat, I'm so happy you came. You know you belong here, and you're never going to bring anyone down. You just bring us all up. So I'm happy that you made it here today. I know you weren't feeling the best, and that's awesome. Cindy, amazing news for you guys, and all of you guys. Amazing. Thank you for being here. I love you all, and be blessed.